Alright folks, welcome back to Glesga News. Right, okay, this is a story by Chris McCall, and it basically revolves around a poll that's been taken recently asking people what they think about Scottish independence and are they likely to vote for Scottish independence. Does it mean a lot to them given that the elections are coming up in May? What you've got to also remember is that the SNP in particular, they have linked this year's vote with another independence referendum. Now, I think it's totally irresponsible for them to do that. I think they're being disingenuous with the Scottish people in linking that specifically to a vote for them. I mean, we all know that the SNP are indeed an independence party, but a lot of people want the option to vote whether we should have a referendum in the first place, not for it to be linked to a vote for one particular party or the other. But that's what the SNP has very slyly done. So for that reason, from my own particular perspective, I'll not be voting SNP because I will vote tactically because of this. Now, I may have voted for the SNP in the past, but I'll not do that. Well, I have, but I'll not be doing that this time round, specifically because of that linkage. Now, why is that? Well, that's because of the situation that we're in as a country. I mean, we're not exactly prospering right now, are we? Look, what have you been doing for the last year? I mean, most people have been sitting in the house, or the shops have been shut. You know, the hairdressers have just opened up twice in a year. Think about it. People are cutting their own hair in the house. So you need to start thinking, for my advice is, start thinking tactically, all right? Start going to another option. Don't go to the Greens or the Lib Democrats, for goodness sake, right? So it only leaves two other parties, which would be Labour or the Tories, right? It's up to yourself where you want to go, what one offers, whatever. But remember, sometimes good to have a balance in Parliament, right? When one party has too much power, they do things like Nicola Sturgeon. See, power corrupts, right? Ultimate power corrupts, absolutely. Now, that's what's happened to the SNP. They have become lazy. So she's just saying, I'm just going to link that. People will do what I want. Ha ha ha. Well, that's fine. Let her do that. I think that's dishonest, as I said. And, you know, I'm not be voting for them specifically because of that reason. So, but let's look at the poll, right? What are other people in the country thinking about as well? Let's look at it. This is the most recent poll that I've seen, and I've been looking at a lot of them. The survey by Savanta Comres found that 45% of respondents rated the state of the economy as their top concern, while 31% selected education and Brexit being chosen by 25%. So the majority of people think, that's 45% think it's the economy, and another 31% say it's education, right? Which is sensible. The kids have been off school for nearly a year, for goodness sake. And teachers need money, schools need money, you know, education, and I would say the health service and stuff like that. Independence is nowhere there. But it goes on to say that just 19% of 1,000 people, so that's 19 people in every 1,000, or of 1,000 surveyed, selected independence as their top priority. So only 19 people selected independence, and that would be your die-hard SNP supporter. Now, that doesn't mean that the other people in that survey are not pro-SNP. You've got to understand that a lot of them are saying we're not interested in the independence route right now until the country's repaired itself, and it'll take a couple of years. But the poll also found that 53% of voters believe an independent reference to should take place within the next 5 years, because that's the kind of recovery time we're talking about here, right? There's a lot of money being lost. There's a lot of loans firing out. The UK government's borrowing hundreds of millions of pounds to try for people to survive what we've went through. It also goes on to talk about Alex Salmond's party. It says here, more than 70% of voters said they would be unlikely to vote for Salmond's party, while 59% overall saying they would be very unlikely to do so. And I agree with that. Why would you want to vote for a second independence party? What's that all about? You know, you've got the SNP who are for independence, and then you've got another party starting up saying, now we're for independence. But we want, what's his slogan? He's saying we want a mega independence vote. Well, I don't get that. I see her position where she says things like, well, if you want independence, you vote for us. And that's true. You know, Alex Salmond, I think, just wants a job. He wants to do something. He's just trying to do a Nigel Farage, really. Where's he going to be in 5 years? He's just going to retire again, isn't he? So here's the deal, folks. If you definitely want an indie reference too, while we're still trying to recover, while we're still trying to keep our jobs, while we're still trying to keep the roof over our head, get our children in school, feed our kids, then vote for the SNP. If you find it now that you're, oh, I'm definitely SNP, when you used to be Labour or used to be a Tory, well, on you go. But I'll not be doing that. I voted for the SNP, but I'll not be doing it. I'll vote tactically this time. I'll not vote for anybody that tries to pull the wool over my eyes by welding on the indie reference to a vote for them. I'm sorry. If you want to have an independence vote, as far as I'm concerned, that vote should be separate from any election process. And as I say, the SNP hierarchy have been completely disingenuous in this voting process and by welding that onto their vote. So from my perspective, I'll not be voting SNP, certainly not this year. I'll vote tactically, and I'll vote for whoever I think is going to do the best for the people that are around me. I'll leave you to work that one out. Anyway, if you like the content, hit the like button, share and subscribe, because that's all I've got to say about that. Peace out. How dare you!